If I pick up my phone and I open Moniepoint app and I send to you right now, before I say the word right now, you've gotten the alert. What is the tech behind, what is the infrastructure behind that Swift service? Why is it so? A lot of people need to understand.
If you look at the books and you see what even traditional banks invest in technology, I don't think there are fintechs that can match it. Most of them in billions, In the level of compliance in traditional banks is DNA inbuilt. So the level of cautiousness is a bit higher.
This is an opportunity to ask the long awaited question. So what I do is that I find out from our community what they love me to ask. And this is it. If I pick up my phone right now and I try to do a transaction from what's the most popular, let's say from OPay to Moniepoint. These two guys are unicorns. If I pick up my phone and I open Moniepoint app and I send to you right now, before I say the word right now, you've gotten the alert. If I'm doing a transaction between GT to First or even Stanbic IBTC, it's not as swift and as fast as some of all these other banks, new generation banks and mobile money operators. That's the license they have. What is the tech behind, what is the infrastructure behind that Swift service? Why is it so? A lot of people need to understand. These banks have been for decades where we have these MMOs or mobile money operators just coming in and transforming the way we transact at the speed of light. Can you shed some light on that?
So I know that there are some things I will not be authorized to speak here, but regarding this, but I'll just give you a background. I think it's not just about
you can speak in parables. We accept it.
So it's not just about superiority of technology. It's also because when you look at the technologies, of course, the investments in cybersecurity, investments in biometrics, investments in mobile apps. If you look at the books and you see what even traditional banks invest in technology, I don't think there are fintechs that can match it. Most of them in billions, So beyond looking at the technology and what it is, we also need to look at different things. The dynamics of routing, transactions, and a few other things. But sometimes the route determines the speed, right? And there are some of that.
What is the route for MMOs? What is the route for traditional?
So that's the point. So it's not different, but when you are innovating today, there are some things you're doing that will take some time before a traditional bank will follow that route. Because again, the level of compliance in traditional banks is DNA inbuilt. So the level of cautiousness is a bit higher, right? So even though we've seen banks, like if you see the Stanbic IBTC ability, we just announced it 2 days ago. That mobile app is made in heaven, right? And you know, I am personally proud of it, you know. But when you look at it, someone will still tell you, oh, in seconds. But we've built it to the highest grade of compliance. So if you test it in any way you want to test it, regulatory wise, you'll see that it's compliant, right? In terms of how we flow and how we solve the customers' processing and fulfillment, we try to be very compliant, and we continue to be innovative, right? So I think at some point we should also see that whether you're a fintech, you're an MMO, some of the new entrants have also taken different paths in trying to innovate, and that's why we are here. That's why Stanbic IBTC also has Zest, right? So some of the things you're talking about, we have them in Zest, right? So we are innovating via different paths, and we just think that it's going to be for the collective good of the ecosystem.
What is open banking? We just assume a lot of people understand.
We're already doing open banking, but the difference in having an industry-driven open banking is that we can bring in standardization. This is where we should be going to, and that's part of what ecosystem solutioning does.
Yeah, true.
It lowers the cost to deploy, consequently lowers the cost to serve the customer, and of course, when everything in terms of cost lower, even the kind of investment and the burn will reduce.
Very true. What is open banking? We just assume a lot of people understand. Oh, what is the concept of
what
open
if
banking?
I don't understand? So I think the whole concept of open banking is that we now have institutions being able to connect to each other via APIs. What I say to my friends and colleagues is that we're already doing open banking, but the difference in having an industry-driven open banking is that we can bring in standardization. Today, if Bank A connects to Bank B, what you see in the API and the interaction is different from when Bank C is connecting to Bank B, right? There's just a lot of nuisance in terms of how we have to tweak and tweak and tweak. We think the open banking is going to standardize that. So with the idea of APIs and the registries, we think that is going to open up diverse services, financial services to consumers on a need basis. What you want, you can get instead of pushing everything to you. And we think it gives an opportunity to institutions that have built innovative solutions to be able to also give it out to other institutions. So you don't have to build everything. So if I want to offer lending services and you have it already, I just take these services from you when you are there on the open banking exchange. So this is where we should be going to, and that's part of what ecosystem solutioning does.
Yeah, true.
It lowers the cost to deploy, consequently lowers the cost to serve the customer, and of course, when everything in terms of cost lower, even the kind of investment and the burn will reduce.
Very true.
Right. So we need to deal with these things from the basics.